It was in the news this week that an astounding almost 9,000 fines have been issued by the police for breaches of the virus lockdown. Now, we all know, and it's a given, that staying at home saves lives. That is what we are all committed to. That is what we have done, and that's what we will continue to do. But that having been said, it's natural and it's human nature that after a month of being stuck at home, there is a growing sense of frustration, a feeling of being constricted and confined, and feeling that there are so many things that we would love to do, we want to do, and we feel we should be able to do them, and yet we are stuck. How do we deal with these frustrations? The answer, I think, we find from the portion and the period that we find ourselves in. You see, between Pesach and Shavuot is a period called the Omer. We count 49 days as we eagerly anticipate and look forward to celebrating the giving of the Torah, which of course was the zenith in Jewish history. Now, naturally, we know that when it comes to celebrating any type of joyous occasion, we usually count down as we eagerly anticipate and look forward to that occasion. Take a birthday, a simcha, a bar mitzvah, a bat mitzvah, a wedding, a milestone in our lives. We count down and we look forward to that particular event. And the reason why we count down is because those days are a means to an end. We just want to arrive at that great occasion. However, when it comes to the counting of the Omer, we count up. And the reason why we count up is because we recognize that each day is a building block. It's a stepping stone for us to be able to build towards the giving of the Torah. And therefore, as much as every single day it's important to count those days, it's even more important to ensure that we make those days count, to grow spiritually, and to make the most of every opportunity that we have. In fact, the story is told about the great Hasidic masters, Reb Zusha and Reb Elimelech, and they found themselves thrown into jail with trumped up charges with a bunch of ruffians. And Reb Zusha looks and he sees that there is a pail, a bucket standing in a corner for them to be able to excuse themselves. And he became very dejected and depressed, and he started to cry. His brother asked him why he was crying, and he said, because you know the law, and the law in Judaism is that we cannot in a toilet, in a bathroom, we cannot recite blessings, we cannot learn Torah, and therefore we cannot do anything when we are in this place. Reb Elimelech thought for a moment, and then he responded and said to Reb Zusha, if we are not allowed to do it, it must be that we're not meant to do it. And therefore, they started to dance with tremendous joy and celebration around this bucket, because they recognize that if they can't do something, it must be that the Almighty says that they're not meant to do it. And therefore, there is an important lesson for us, friends, and that lesson is quite simple. That if we find ourselves in any given situation, we are not stuck. It's not that we have no options, but if we're meant to be in a certain situation, then we're there for a reason. And therefore, we should make the most of these days as opportunities for us to grow, for us to nurture and to develop ourselves. Count these days, make the most of them, challenge oneself, take on different things. And in that way, please God, we will all be able, please God, to celebrate when we look back at the end of this coronavirus, that these days counted, these days we made the most of those opportunities that befell us, and please God, we'll be able to look forward to days when we are all together speedily, we hope. Wishing everyone a Shabbat Shalom, look after yourselves, keep safe and keep well.